Welcome everybody to episode 9. I'm happy to be here today. Today's topic, it's all about CEREC design and milling. Um, my name is Trinidad Mora. I'm your host from the Dental Advocate. Thank you for tuning in. This is where the dental assistant life feeds from experience and unity. So today, topic is interesting because um, I I have a message for you guys towards the end of this, but I am going to talk about CEREC for a little bit. But what is CEREC? Uh, it's Chairside Economical Restoration of Aesthetic Ceramics, or ceramic reconstruction. And then CAD/CAM is computer aided design or computer aided manufacturing. So, I've been doing CEREC for a long time. 2006, I believe. Yeah, 2006. And throughout the years, there's been a lot of changes to the program and the milling machines. I think they're on their third milling machine. Um, but it's gotten a lot easier, a lot easier. And if you have CEREC in your office, I really urge you to learn and 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 pay attention to how they design. Even if you're not an RDA, um, they've gone from materials that the milling unit can handle to materials that the milling unit can't handle, and that's why they've been making these new machines. But there's anything from the blocks range from resins to ceramics and solid. They're just solid blocks that they use to make a restoration. I've been working with CEREC. Is it 12? Yeah, 12 years. And one of the things that I enjoy about it is the challenge of getting everything perfect. So like, packing the cord, getting it nice and clean, being able to see the margins, getting the images without getting the cheek or the tongue, and then designing it, especially when you have two in a row, man. I mean, one's pretty easy, and sometimes it's tough depending on what it gives you. But when you have two, it starts to get a little tough. But I like that challenge. That's something that I like to look for. The design aspect of it, it's pretty much an art. So designing it is also fun for me. Um, Sometimes I know my doctor can tell you that I probably take too long on something, but she's taught me what to look for and what things are okay or not okay. But it's like a drawing. You can sit there and mess with it all day. Um, Glazing and staining is fun for me. I like glazing and staining. Um, Getting the color right. I haven't done a bunch of coloring, but as far as customizing, once in a while I do, I'd say about an 8 out of 10. Sometimes we have to modify it, but for the most part, it's pretty good and it's fun. And one of the other things that I like about CEREC is soon I'm going to be getting into implants. So making parts for implants, making the abutments. So I'm excited about that for sure. Anyways, I have experience with a couple of blocks, and I honestly wish I had a little more experience with other materials, resins and ceramics. But we keep it pretty simple, and it's IPS Emax and the Vita blocks. So those two, I know a lot of people use the Saltra Duals or other zirconiums, but I think the machine we have, I don't think it handles those. So, and I've glazed and stained both these blocks for a long time. Um, one of the one of my most favorite things about CEREC is you get to send images to the lab. So even if we're not making the crown there, we get to send the images to the lab. They make a bridge or they make a crown. So we've been doing that for a little bit, and saves material, impression material. Um, No, you still get to do a temporary, but you don't have to worry about buying all that impression material. We use light body and putty, so it saves us a lot. And some of the changes that have gone on in the industry for CEREC is the big one is ease of use. Like it's pretty the program's pretty much. I mean, it can be called like CEREC for dummies because it's pretty easy. It's very easy. I mean, the hard part is knowing what the tooth is supposed to look like. But as far as the process, it's very simple. Um, it's faster designing, faster milling. I remember when I first got into CEREC, the milling machine would take like 20 minutes. Um, and before my time, when I started using it, people would tell me that it would take like an hour. So it's come a long way. They have a bunch of new blocks now. I honestly don't know all the names, but they have a lot of blocks for different situations and teeth. So one of my favorite things about CEREC also is you can design removables. And that is to me very awesome, especially with the implants. You know that I really want to get into that. So once I get into that a little bit more, I want to have someone on here to talk about that stuff. I love that stuff. Um, so what are some of the benefits for the patients? Um, I would say you know it really doesn't make any sense to not do CEREC. I know not all offices have CEREC. It's not a very cheap uh, machinery to buy. But if they do have CEREC, the materials are compatible with the human tooth. There's no metal. There's no metal in them. There's same day crowns, no impressions, no temporaries, um, and it's instant gratification. I mean, for me and my patient goes home with the crown. They're done for the day. They don't have to come back and wear their temps. And for me, I get to see my work right then and there. Done. It feels like a real tooth. Um, they last for years. Of course, it depends on whether the patient brushes very well and flosses, and if they get their checkups done. But for the most part, they last a long time. Um, Most of the time, when I get a patient that has never heard of CEREC, one of the biggest things that they ask me is, "Can I go watch it?" So I tell them about it, and then they want to go watch it. So they come up to the front of the office where our machine is, and they go and they sit there and they watch it. It's got a bunch of colors, water's going, got the noises going from the milling. They like it, um, and they like watching the design part of it too. Um, Sometimes you have some engineers coming in and they start asking you all these technical questions about the machine, how it does it, and everything. So I studied a little bit of how it works, but and I can't answer all the questions. Um, and you know, one of the biggest things that I really want us to understand is this: the biggest benefit from knowing CEREC is that it gives us value as an assistant. It gives us a lot of value. I know that you need to be an RDA to do the imaging, um, and I just actually sent out a text about this to somebody that knows the answer. But if you guys know the answer, please let me know. Um, I was thinking, is there a loophole for that role? Because let's say I take the images, right? But can a DA design the crown? You know what I mean? So you don't necessarily have to take the images, but if you can design it, you can still get in there and be part of the process. So I'm gonna look into that. I'm not sure about that, but if it's a loophole, man, go get it, go learn it, go do it, and then go get your idea. Um, don't let that title hold you back from learning, though. Just learn everything you can, and I can't stress enough um, to you guys how important it is for you to learn all all you can about what happens in your office. So if your office offers specialty and they do CEREC and they do all these cool things, um, it brings you so much value to learn all this stuff. And I mean, think about it. What a waste of time to work somewhere for years and not know the ins and outs of everything that they do there. I mean, y- for me, I would think like, why didn't I learn this stuff while I was there? Because I'm gonna be that much better when I go to another office, or if I go to another office. I mean, it's just something under your belt, something more on your resume for you to say, hey, look, I'm valuable because of this, and this here's what I know. Um, and you'll become an assistant of choice in the industry. Um, if you ever if you're ever in an office that offers experience, like I said, in many parts of dentistry, go learn it. Go ask questions. You know, don't stay behind. Get involved. Um, some you know some assistants don't care to learn it, and one of the things that I hear is, I don't get paid for that. That's not my job. Um, I I without even ever really thinking about that, I did hear that, when I first got into dentistry. Oh, that's not my job. I don't get paid for that. That's not my title. But I have to say that all the things that I learned from not saying that have helped me so much to this day. So even though you're not getting paid for it, what does it hurt for you to learn it? So let's say you become an RDA 3 months from now, 6 months from now. It makes no sense for you to just start learning it just because you got your RDA. So that's why I say, don't let the title hold you back. Go out there, get your learn on, man. Go do it. Um, One of the other things that's pretty sad is, I was just talking to one of my good friends about this earlier, and I'll mention him a little later. Um, they they have a CEREC machine in the office, but they don't use it because they're so fixed on the process of prepping, taking an impression, sending it to lab, and there's that comfort of it being okay because somebody else is doing it. That sometimes they feel, either the assistant or the doctor feels intimidated, to design, and that it's not going to work out and it's going to be a waste of time, and the patient's been here for a couple hours. You know, I understand that. I've been in that situation, but eventually you get over that hump. You get over that hump, especially if you just got the machine and nobody knows or has any experience on what's going on with it. But just tackle it, man. Tackle it. Get in there, make your mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Make your mistakes and move on, and eventually you get to a real comfortable point where you have the confidence to say, yeah, I can design this. Yeah, I can cement this. Yeah, I can do that. Nobody started off knowing it all, so um, mastering it takes time. And if you're intimidated because you think you're just going to be mediocre, or not master it, or you're not going to be the greatest at it, you know what? Nobody is the greatest at everything. So, you know, just keep going at it. You don't have to be the best. As long as you know it and you know the ins and outs and you know how to design, that's great, man. So, well, the other things I want to tell you guys is, as assistants, and this goes back to kind of like, that's not my job, or I don't get paid for that. Um, One of the things that I wanted to mention is, one thing that I think we don't really think about a lot in dentistry as an assistant, um, especially in the whole business side of dentistry and taking care of patients, giving them their same day crowns, you're still caring for the patient. You're still caring for the patient. You're providing health care for them, which equals a successful business. And the more successful your office is, the better chance they have of giving you a raise or sponsoring you to go get your RDA or your EF or whatever it may be to go get, CE credits. So helping them in their day-to-day business is very, very important for you to be aware of what's going on and not just coming in and, what's in it for me. I understand what's in it for me is great in the interview, but once you get working, you got to help them get to their goals. Um, and, there's no office that deliberately says we want to be unsuccessful so that we can pay we don't pay our assistants what they want. You know what I mean? That just doesn't make sense. So, you know, next next episode is I wanted to leave you guys on this note because next episode is kind of about that. That's titled "What You Need to Hear and Understand About Dentistry." So that's my message for today, guys. It's short, but next one's gonna be a good one. I can't wait. Don't miss it. I hope all of you enjoyed this episode and take the message and run with it. Go learn your ass some CEREC, and a big thank you for watching. If you have a story to tell, if there's something you want me to talk about, put a message underneath. Just write it up, let me see it, or personal message me, whatever, and I'll bring it up. And please, please, please support the show, man. Hit the like button, share it, tag another assistant. I want you guys to follow Silly Panda Media, The Blacksmith, Vinylholics, all those guys. Look them up, IG, Facebook. So tune in, man. Tune in here on Facebook, and I'll see you next week. And remember, we're assistants on the rise. So keep it positive when it seems impossible, and I hope your suctions never fail you. Peace out, you guys. Thank you.